NYPD cops swerved into a black man on a scooter. And when you know it, they lied about it, went and told big lies. According to a lawsuit, NYPD cops swerved into a black man on a scooter and then tried to blame him with a bizarre lie until the video dropped. New York City police officers claimed they were trying to avoid the collision when an unmarked NYPD patrol car swerved from a middle lane into a bicycle lane in 2023. They crashed head on into the black man on a scooter, which sent him into their windshield head first. Ugh, he was unconscious on the street. Did surveillance video prove the cops to be lying? Well, look at this. Why are you lying? What are you doing here? There's more cameras in New York, I would guess, than any other city in the world. Wednesday, the 40-year-old victim, Delonny Davis, filed a lawsuit in federal court against the NYPD, accusing the officers of excessive force, malicious prosecution, denial of a fair trial, failure to intervene, and negligence. Lawsuit states that the cops who struck Davis were part of the department's community response team. If this is how they're responding to the community, please, let's go ahead and disband this. Might as well be the Jump Out Boys, Red Dogs. They had those in Atlanta. Community response team is made up of dirty cops, described in the claim as a secretive unit of plainclothes officers whose history of misconduct has been well documented. So you are the Red Dogs, just a different name, different city. Lawsuit also accuses the NYPD of implementing a policy encouraging officers to use their patrol cars as weapons, even for low-level traffic infractions. In Davis's case, he was riding the scooter on a public street to a store to get his cell phone repaired when he noticed he was being followed by a car that turned out to be an unmarked police car, even though he did not know that at the time. See why this is probably not the best idea? Low-level stuff going on, and this is how you want to act. He drove a short distance past the store before turning around and driving back to the store in the bicycle lane. Meanwhile, the unmarked patrol car that had been following him, driven by NYPD officer Nicholas Leandrakis, spotted Davis in the bicycle lane and swerved his car into its path, striking it head on. That's what you did. Listed as defendants are Leandrakis, Shamari Roberts, Pronab Adakari, Ernest Hernandez, Mijong Zhu, Ellis Rivera, Andrew Mahoney, Nazir Nazari. Officers are all members of the community response team. They're all accused of being part of the cover-up, including what they said about Davis. Also listed as defendants are John Chell, NYPD chief of department at the time, as well as NYPD Deputy Commissioner Kaz Doctry. They're accused of implementing the policy encouraging officers to use their patrol cars as weapons. That, for our friends at Atlanta Black Star. Incident took place in the afternoon of August 28, 2023. Davis left his friend's house on a scooter to get his phone repaired at Boost Mobile Store, 200 East 2nd Street, Manhattan. He noticed the unmarked cop car following him as he was traveling southbound on Avenue D before he turned right on East 2nd Street. As Mr. Davis rode eastbound in the bike lane and approached the Boost Mobile, defendant Leandrakis quickly swerved his unmarked NYPD vehicle out of the middle lane of vehicular traffic and directly into the bike lane, intentionally striking Mr. Davis head on with the NYPD vehicle. That collision threw Mr. Davis into the air, sent him crashing down on the hood of the NYPD vehicle. Mr. Davis's head struck the windshield with such force. This is just sick. The windshield on the NYPD vehicle cracked. Mr. Davis fell onto the street, lost consciousness. Mr. Davis awoke to defendants Leandrakis, Roberts, Atakari, placing handcuffs on him. After the collision, Davis was in pain, complaining of dizziness as more cops arrived on scene, who would end up as defendants in the lawsuit. He was also bleeding. He could hardly walk. Well, you have somebody do a pit maneuver, basically. What is that from behind? But you know what I'm saying. You get hit by a car, fly into the air, have your head crack the windshield, and you probably can't walk too well. Ambulance arrived 20 minutes later, conducted a quick evaluation, but the cops insisted on taking him to jail instead of allowing him to be transported to a local hospital. As a result, and in addition to other injuries, Mr. Davis suffered permanent hearing impairment and ongoing pain and soreness to his body. I already know who's going to pay for this. He remained locked up in a cell for several hours before he was released with several charges, including reckless driving, reckless endangerment, aggravated unlicensed operation of a motor vehicle, driving the wrong direction on a one-way street, driving a motor vehicle without a license. In the criminal complaint filed against Davis, Leandrakis claimed Davis had crashed into a police vehicle that was attempting to avoid the collision. Folks, this is I often wish they would bring The Sopranos back for another season. We've got it, baby, in New York with this response team. That's how sick this is. Gee whiz. He was apparently, though, unaware that the incident was captured on video, showing that if anybody was guilty of reckless driving and endangerment, it was him. Lawsuit states the reckless driving charge against Davis was dismissed September 12, 2023, but does not elaborate on the other charges. And a search through the online court system for New York City shows no mention of any charges against Davis. Day after the crash, NYPD Sergeant Ernest Hernandez, one of the cops who showed up on the scene after the incident, went along with Leandrakis' lies, filling out and signing a police accident report, claiming Leandrakis was unable to avoid the crash. Elliott, this is not bad policing. It's, unfortunately, it's pretty normal these days, too many incidents. This is criminal activity. I don't even like that we had to mention the law enforcement. Here's what happened. Some criminals were hunting people who were minding their business, and they decided to crash into them, endangering other lives, and they could have killed this man, and then they lied about it. This was actually a story. Forget NYPD, although it's one and the same in this instance. This is a story about criminal activity and mafiosa behavior. What say you?
100%. I mean, they hit this guy, and then they, instead of letting him go to the hospital where he might talk, they go, okay, well, we're going to just take you with us instead. And then we're going to pile on all these charges to kind of smother anything that you might be able to say otherwise. So, yeah. And I think also just the whole idea of these unmarked cars, it's bad enough that we have unmarked officers, whether it's police officers or ICE in particular, walking around and confusing citizens and putting them in positions where they panic. But like a car as well, you see somebody following you and then hitting you, emotionally, psychologically, you're already going to be freaking out. And then you have this kind of physical result as well. And it's just an absolute nightmare. So whatever this department is, that's like the community response team, that almost sounds like a joke at this point, where I'm sure they have to, like, behind closed doors, joke a little bit about it, because it does seem like this is a task force that is solely meant to make people's lives worse in that city.
Hey, look, when I first read the words community response team, I thought these are the ones that we had the cute videos. They usually are the kickers on the local news. They are playing basketball with the kids, and they're giving out candy and keeping them safe, and they're just won't be friends. Instead of, again, keeping with the theme of the jump out boys. This is, it's urban terrorism is what it is. It comes in many forms. I just think this is yet another. Last word for you.
No, absolutely. And I hope this guy continues to recover. I also think that if you're in New York City, maybe now is a great time to look at mayoral candidates that might actually look into community task forces and fund them properly and staff them with people who are able to handle mental health crises.
Yeah, and when you say look at the candidates,
Mm,
there's a couple of them there.
just a
There's
few.
the outgoing mayor who was seen with a guy who was accused of sexual harassment and another candidate at a basketball game. They left the debate and they were sitting courtside at the Knicks. Okay. I didn't see Spike Lee in the picture. And then there's the guy who smiles and tells people, please don't send me any more of your small donations. We're good. We just want to go grassroots here and let's get this thing done together. It's not me, it's you. It's about you and our community. So when they're evaluating these candidates, they might want to. I just think a picture tells 1,000 words. The one guy's always smiling, he's happy. He's not trying to rip people off. He's not in bed with turkey. He's just, he's not trying to be a dictator. Old people aren't dying in nursing homes during COVID. He's just trying
Plus,
to do the right thing, which means, boy, they're going to keep targeting him. They're ganging up on him. It's crazy.